Today we are going to discuss Secure Access Service Edge, or SASE. Now, many of you out there, like I used to be, have been under the impression that maybe Gartner came up with this whole approach, this whole concept. But in reality, they met with the founders of Cato Networks to discuss Cato's technology and Cato's approach and philosophy on security in the cloud. So actually, Cato Networks originated this category and approach. Gartner blessed it and created the category and formalized it, and then published a research document on it. Hence, SASE was officially born. So I'm sure Chris might tell you more about that in his presentation. But with that being said, Stephen, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you, Ellen. Thanks for everyone for joining us this afternoon, giving us a few minutes of your time this afternoon. Before we get moving with the Cato, I would like to take just a few minutes for those who are not familiar with the AireSpring story and kind of introduce you to us as a company a little bit. AireSpring's been around for over 23 years now. We're family owned and operated, obviously privately held, no outside investment. We're debt-free and profitable, not going anywhere anytime soon. We've been a top 3 AT&T Platinum Elite partner for over 10 years. We sell only through our trusted advisors, so we are 100% channel, no direct sales team, and we are continuing to add to our services and our solutions as we go, as is the point of the webinar today with Cato Networks. We have over 200 direct agreements with ISPs and carriers around the globe, 190 countries plus. So any customer that you have that is in any part of the world, even some remote parts of the world, we can probably get them connectivity, which is very important for the guests that we have today, Cato Networks. That global connectivity is a critical piece of their infrastructure as well. Some of the superpowers that we have, right, are AIreCONTROL, which is our new ITSM platform, which we'll talk about here in just a minute. We also have implemented a new support structure that we're calling AirPod. It gives you a dedicated team that helps you through the life cycle of the customer, and gives you very rapid response times and even escalations within like 10 minutes of contact, right? We're still very, very good at the global consolidation of multiple networks. We have multiple security products, multiple SD-WAN vendors that we can consolidate into one invoice and one contact. Of course, my team and our provisioning engineers and our support engineers are all very, very well certified security and network engineers. So when it comes to design, support, implementation, you will be in great hands, because the engineers that we have on staff are truly experts in their field. And then, of course, end-to-end management, lowering costs, giving you better solutions that will address the need of the customer. That's our specialty. And if you've worked with us before, you know that we will take care in designing that solution right the first time, so that that customer can continue to grow for you and for us. Speaking of the approach of the design, we have a day zero, day one, and day two type of approach. Day zero is kind of relies on my team, the solutions engineers, where we will design the solution, whatever it is, whether it's a basic network or SD-WAN or a security stack. Then it goes into our implementation and deployment. And then day two is our support team that we mentioned, the AirPods. We have software that will monitor and alert and analyze, all wrapped into AireCONTROL, that is kind of overarching. So it's AireCONTROL is our ITSM. It's AI powered. It gives you visibility and control. It gives you insights into your network. Gives you visibility into the platforms that you have deployed, whether it be Fortinet, VeloCloud, uh, uh, AirPBX, Cato Networks, and then of course you have the ability to go directly into the manufacturer portals from this portal, so that you can do management and change control and things of that nature. Insights, you will be able to look at your support tickets, the statuses there. You can open support tickets if you need to. You can look at ongoing projects, whether you have a site implementation. You can look at statuses and project management notes and things of that nature. And of course, you can pay your bill and look at your invoices on a historical level. And it's just a great platform to manage your network. From a partner standpoint, you will have the ability also in the very near future to view all of your customers as well. So for our partners, it's very, very powerful to manage their customers as well, so they can see what services are deployed in a particular site or a particular customer as well. Here it is. One app does it all. There's just a couple more screenshots there where you can see the types of data that you can see. There's you can manage the performance at each site, monitor. It will alert you for site health and things of that nature. It's just a really great platform. We're very proud that it has just recently launched. If you would like to see a demo of that type of this platform, we are happy to do that. And you can just contact your channel manager or your solutions engineer, and we'll be able to take you through that platform in much more detail. SLAs, we have the best platinum SLAs in the industry, right? If you've worked with AireSpring for any length of time, you know that we're very proud of our SLAs. We have probably some of the most robust escalation paths in the industry. You see there all the different data points for our SLAs, but really it's this right here that's the power behind it, right? We publish our escalation list all the way to the CEO level, names and numbers. You have dedicated teams. You will be able to get in touch with the right person and be able to solve whatever that issue is very, very quickly. And we're very proud of that. That's one of our big differentiators in the industry. So let's talk about, this is my team, Solutions Engineering. I'm the new Vice President of Solutions Engineering. I have been here since April. Very, very proud to be here. I came from a carrier that had a very much different approach to customer service. And to say it nicely, I am extremely proud to be part of an organization that cares about their customers the way AireSpring cares about their customers. And so it starts right here with the solutions engineering team. We will engage with you, the partner, the customer directly, and make sure that we are designing the solution that fits the customer's need, not just something that is able to be sold. We want the right services, the right solution, so that it's a longer term relationship with both you, AireSpring, and for the customer. Everyone wins in that. The channel managers, you can see that both of these are online. By the way, you can look these maps up so you don't have to read it. It's probably very small type here, but we have a very robust channel management organization. They're all around the country, regionalized. You probably have one in your region that you work with, and they're very, very good at and very responsive. And that's one thing that I hear a lot is they are very responsive to our partners and can turn quotes around pretty quickly. So that's very, very important in the world that we live in. Speed of the quotes are very, very important. So um, that's a little bit about AireSpring, but what we're really here to talk about is Cato Networks and our recent announcement that we have partnered with Cato Networks. Just recently, they Gartner announced that they are one of the top 3 leaders in this cloud native single vendor SASE space. And that's something that we're very proud of. Cato is very proud of. This is a very strong partnership. And I know you're very anxious to hear a little bit more about the Cato platform. If you're not familiar with it, it is very, very good. And we are part of the inaugural MSASE network, right? So which is managed SASE. That's there. I'll let Chris tell a little bit more about that. But Chris Rudolph, are you on the line?
I am here.
You are here. That's fantastic. So Chris is the marketing manager for the Americas with Cato Networks, and he's going to take you through a little bit more of what Cato is about. Take it away, Chris.
Thank you, Stephen. So again, my name is Chris Rudolph. I'm one of the product marketing managers for the Americas at Cato Networks. And I would like to share some information with you all today about how this all, what Cato is, what we are, and that sort of a thing. Ellen, it's not giving me the option to advance the screen. Oh, that'll work. So I want to start with a few facts about Cato Networks. And, the first thing is our founder and CEO is Shlomo Kramer, who comes to us from Checkpoint and Imperva. He was also one of the first investors of Palo Alto, so he's been doing this for many, many years. The track record that Shlomo has set out in front of Cato Networks has actually enabled Cato to raise over $773 million from top-tier venture capital firms. And most recently, we are valued at $3 billion. We've established ourselves as a strategic IT infrastructure provider to thousands of enterprises with tens of thousands of sites connected and secured and over 1 million remote users. And Forrester recently showed how Cato customers can reach a 246% return on investment within 6 months of purchase. Let's continue. So recently, Cato was recognized for its market leadership and is extremely well positioned in the single vendor SASE market, which is forecast to grow twice as fast as multi-vendor SASE. So when we look at the Gartner report, for example, Cato has been recognized as a leader by Gartner in their recent Magic Quadrant. They highlight Cato's strength as a market pioneer who delivers on the SASE promise of simple operations and an, quote, Apple-like customer experience. Gartner also expects Cato's innovation to continue shaping the market. Also, looking at the Forrester reports, Cato is also recognized by Forrester as a market leader. Forrester highlights Cato as the poster child of the industry, a specialist, and echo Cato's SASE strength and customer feedback. Forrester also states that Cato Networks stands out as a ZTE specialist, whereas most of its competitors come from either a networking or security heritage. Next slide, please. This is a quick list of our selected customers. As you can see, they span industries, employee numbers, deployment sizes, and a global footprint. They are all relying on Cato for mission-critical services in full production. The common theme here is partnership. Cato extends the IT organization of these companies with a rich cloud platform that requires no maintenance and with security and operational skills that are very hard to find. With Cato, these customers can support complex business requirements and globally distributed locations, users, and applications on tight budgets. Next slide, please. These are just a few of the use cases that we generally see, but these are the ones that most of our customers have pain points with. So we're looking at things that are highly complex, or they aren't able to see everything that they have, like shadow IT. Performance has always been a big question mark. So when customers have poor performance in locations, remote users or even office users, they complain about it. With remote users and work from home, ever since the pandemic, we've seen a vast uptick of people working from home. And this is always a pain point for IT departments. Organizations that are migrating to the cloud, they always start by thinking that it is such a heavy lift to connect it and get it working. Well, with Cato, we can fix that. And finally, network costs has been on the rise recently, and that's why MPLS is so expensive and customers are willing to just get rid of it. And they look for other carriers and other options. So, and next slide, please. Today, we'll talk about the future of enterprise network and security. Let's take a look at a very interesting Gartner perspective on the topic. After chasing new features and better performance for decades, complexity is getting out of control. It is harder to maintain and secure the network. What does this tell us? That network innovation is less about what the network does and more about how it does it. In this presentation, I'm going to show you how the new proven architecture built to deliver the simplicity, automation, reliability, and flexibility that you're looking for. Okay, next slide, please. So enterprises expect their infrastructure to support their objectives, right? If you're going to grow through mergers, expand overseas, let people work from anywhere, migrate to the cloud, and then all these transformation projects will need a network and security platform that's, okay, click to build out, please. Yep. So the problem is that when you try to support transformation with legacy solutions of point products, the requirements for security, resilience, agility, global scope, and performance optimization can almost be impossible to achieve. For example, if your security is based on physical firewalls, then it's really hard to expand globally without degrading performance or to support a hybrid workforce. If your SD-WAN is separate from your network security, then you have an integration project that makes high availability really complex. If you have multiple policy engines, for example, one for east-west traffic within your network, and another such as your software, your secure web gateway for north-south, then that makes you rigid where you want to make changes, and it hurts your ability to be agile. There are a ton more examples, but with legacy architecture, you're stuck with a fragmented infrastructure, resource-intensive maintenance, suboptimal performance, low resiliency, and complexity is the enemy of availability, security, and agility. Next slide, please. So how do we move forward? Gartner states that the solution is convergence, and that's really Cato's mantra. Specifically, the convergence of networking and security into a single solution they call the Secure Access Service Edge, or SASE. SASE is a new architecture that is built to address today's and tomorrow's requirements for optimal and secure application access, to do it all for users at any location. The real thing to consider is, did you consider SASE as a solution to the problems we talked about? If your answer was yes, you know, this is where things can really change for you with Cato. Next slide, please. So a true SASE platform converges all of the networking and security functions you need. The platform optimizes your performance and security posture by ensuring that all capabilities are consistently delivered everywhere and autonomously managed. So this is the promise of SASE, to empower your IT with a platform that can move at the speed of business. For lack of better words, SASE enables secure, high-performance access for everyone everywhere effortlessly. Next slide, please. So let's see how this works at a high level. Cato connects all branches, users, applications, and clouds into a global cloud-native network. All traffic is optimized end-to-end between users and applications everywhere in the world. Okay, build it out one more time. There we go. Next, Cato protects all traffic inside its cloud service against threats and attacks with a full security stack. Enterprise-grade protection is applied to all traffic across data centers and branches and all the way down to the single user on a mobile device. Finally, customers have flexible management options. You can manage all network and security policies and access full real-time analytics from a single self-service console, or use co-managed or fully managed service from Cato and our partners like AireSpring. Simple. Next slide. Beyond convergence, you need a global footprint of points of presence, or POPs, to deliver converged network and security capabilities everywhere. Cato has deployed POPs in over 80 plus locations globally and is adding several POPs every quarter. The Cato SASE Cloud covers every major business location, including the Americas, Europe, the Middle East, APAC, and China. Next slide, please. Let's take a closer look at the SASE Cloud Platform. At the core, we built a global private backbone of POPs delivering our networking and security capabilities. The POPs are interconnected with redundant Tier 1 providers that provide consistent and predictable long-haul latency, jitter, and packet loss. The POP software selects the best route across providers for maximum uptime and best end-to-end performance. This design offers an immediate improvement in network quality over the unpredictable public internet and a significant cost reduction over MPLS. At the core of Cato, there's a cloud first delivering our network and security capabilities. Our POPs are located in top tier data centers with full redundancy to deliver all our capabilities to all locations and users globally. You never need to buy, install, size, scale, or upgrade any appliances. We seamlessly scale the service and ensure maximum performance and optimal security posture no matter how much traffic you need to support. Click to build, please. The POPs run a converged software stack. The single pass cloud engine software, or SPACE for short, that performs all networking and security processing in the cloud. The SPACE is built from two parts. The first is a high throughput packet processing engine, and the second is a threat prevention and data protection engine. The SPACE is natively built to process multi-gig traffic flows from all enterprise edges, including clouds, data centers, branches, users, and devices. It supports all ports and protocols across WAN, internet, and cloud traffic. It also accelerates data transfer and optimizes routing for minimal latency. Decryption is applied as needed without any impact on user experience. There are multiple security policies that are uniformly enforced through SPACE. Firewall as a Service provides end-to-end segmentation of traffic. Secure Web Gateway protects users against phishing and malicious websites. IPS, DNS security, and next-gen anti-malware stop advanced threats. Zero Trust Network Access provides secure remote access to users. CASB and DLP controls access to risky cloud applications and prevents sensitive data from being lost. Finally, Remote Browser Isolation, or RBI, opens web pages remotely and streams safe content to the browser so users can browse unknown sites safely. All these capabilities run on traffic at the same time to minimize security overhead and leverage the rich context extracted for every packet. Build out one more time. So customers connect all network edges to the cloud network using secure tunnels. Physical locations connect via the Cato Socket Edge SD-WAN devices. The Cato Socket manages multiple last mile connections in an active-active mode. It steers the traffic to the best last mile path based on underlying link behavior. The socket applies quality of service prioritization based on application and user awareness, and it protects critical applications like voice, video, and remote desktops against packet loss. Cato sockets allow local firewalling for LAN segmentation as well. We provide a broad set of policies out of the box that optimize traffic for the most common requirements, with the ability to configure highly granular policies for specific needs. Cato sockets also support site-to-site MPLS and internet connections to accommodate customer-specific requirements. Customers that already have other Edge SD-WAN devices or don't care for Edge SD-WAN capabilities can establish IPsec tunnels from existing devices to the nearest POP and get the network and security benefits of the Cato Cloud with a zero on-site footprint. Build out one more time, please. Cato enables secure universal zero trust network for users working from remote locations or in the office. A remote user uses the Cato client or a browser to securely connect to any application on premise or in the cloud, from laptops, tablets, smartphones, whatever. When remote users dynamically connect to their nearest POP, they go from place to place. So basically that means that whenever a user is trying to log on to the ZTNA system, they're not connecting directly to the customer location. They're connecting to the Cato POP, which then uses the backbone as an infrastructure. We also offer endpoint protection capabilities to help govern both network and endpoint security in a single SASE platform. Click again, please. Cloud data centers connect using virtual SD-WAN devices, or the Cato vSocket, we call them, a cloud interconnect, or over a standard IPsec tunnel. The cloud data center becomes an integral part of the network, and its traffic is optimized and secured in the same way all other traffic is. There is no need to use premium cloud connection services like Azure Express Route or AWS Direct Connect or virtual firewalls at the cloud edge. Cato provides full visibility, optimization, and control over outgoing and incoming cloud DC traffic. Build out again, please. Optimization, inspection, and policy enforcement are inherently applied for all cloud application traffic. Application-specific traffic from any edge is automatically detected. That traffic can be forwarded based on a network rule over the Cato global backbone to the POP closest to the cloud instance serving the business. This smart egress capability optimizes the user experience. We also have an optional dedicated IP support that restricts traffic to a corporate source for SaaS applications that support this capability. I'll build that again, please. An extended detection and response layer, or XDR, leverages AI, NML, and ML trained models to detect threats and anomalies across the network and present them to the relevant SOC and NOC teams for investigation and remediation. Threat and anomaly incidents are presented as stories enriched with detailed guidance from by a generative AI engine, and their life cycle is fully managed on the Cato platform. Build out again, please. And finally, Cato offers full visibility and control via a flexible management model. The Cato management application supports granular access control, ability to configure all policies, and access to detailed analytics and event logs. All of Cato's software is fully maintained, enhanced, and secured by Cato and our engineering SOC and NOC teams, delivering an automated posture management to all of our customers. The account can be self-managed by the enterprise, and Cato and its partners can deliver fully managed service from customers for those who want it. The Cato SASE Cloud is a future-proof platform for the digital business. As needed, Cato can be gradually deployed across use cases while coexisting with your current network and security infrastructure. Ultimately, customers often replace networking and security point solutions deployed in their infrastructure with Cato's converged platform. They realize material benefits by optimizing spend, improving agility and responsiveness to the business, and enhancing security posture. Next slide, please. and you can go ahead and build this whole thing out. I'll read the whole thing. WAN transformation is a journey. Here's how it could look for you. You start with SD-WAN for more bandwidth at lower cost. You add global backbone for global sites. You deploy branch or cloud security or secure direct internet access. You use cloud acceleration to enable cloud migration. You get mobile VPN or SDP to support mobile users. Now, if you were to do all this using separate point products, you would never get a single management pane that covers all of them. A SASE platform converges all the capabilities you need today and tomorrow. By contrast, a non-SASE approach forces you to find, evaluate, buy, integrate, manage multiple products to cover each of these requirements. Think how much time you would save by not doing all this work and just flipping a switch when you're ready. Next slide, please. And you can build this slide out too. What is the way forward? Solving one problem at a time, that is how complexity got out of control. Taking a platform approach to your WAN transformation will address the challenges of today and prepare you for the opportunities of tomorrow. You can build one more time. This is why Cato is the right choice for your business, because Cato, the world's first SASE platform, was built from the ground up to be the network for whatever's next. And that's all that I have today. The next slide is the thank you slide.
Great, wonderful. Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you so much, Stephen. So now we are ready for questions. Hopefully, you all entered some questions into the question window, and we will address those first. Let's see. It's not too late to enter some questions in, folks, so if you think of something, please go ahead. First question is, how do I know that I have a Cato Networks customer? What are the key indicators Cato would be a good fit for them? Oh, that's a good question. Stephen and Chris, what are your recommendations there? How do you know if your Cato is the right fit for this particular customer? What are the things you look for?
I'll take that one. So sure, I can take that. That's fine. So from our aspect, our point of view, the larger the footprint and the more security services that the customer is looking to implement, Cato becomes more and more powerful. Now, that is not to say that a smaller footprint wouldn't work. We actually just had a recent Cato opportunity that is moving down the path, let me put it that way, that is just a couple of sites. But because those sites were global and they needed to utilize Cato's web acceleration across their global private backbone, it was the right solution. And it's going to be a very good solution. This particular customer was trying to combat latency for a voice over IP platform on a global network. They had a remote office in South Africa, and they were having a hard time with the latency there. And Cato's web acceleration, network acceleration, really solved that problem for them. And so that was not a huge network that was, widely distributed. It was just the right fit. So I say all that to say this: if the customer is looking for security to be implemented, whether it is zero trust or next gen firewall or malware, next gen malware, IPS maybe, it's worth the conversation. If they have a remote workforce, that is a key indicator that they would benefit from Cato SASE. Chris, help me out. There's a couple others. There was a few use cases there, and I don't know, Ellen, if you can't go back to that slide there.
Well, there was Chris, do you want to take a stab
Go
at this
ahead,
one?
Chris.
Yeah, sure. So I mean, and Stephen hit on most of the points there. I mean, if you have customers who are if they have the remote distributed workforce and they're looking for employing security on that as opposed to using VPN concentrators, um, the Cato ZTNA offering is much more flexible, and uh, it gives you much more options because it actually employs security on the ingress to our backbone. Um, if you have customers that have multiple locations that are connected by MPLS, again, we can utilize MPLS, but if they're looking to get rid of MPLS and go to other carriers that are much more cost effective, we can help support that. We provide the overlay, and we can also do the security. Anybody who's going through cloud migration, if they're just now starting the journey to move to AWS, Azure, GCP, Oracle, whoever, we can work with those providers. We can work with those customers to move, get their network connected without having to subscribe to those, again, those really expensive things like Direct Connect or Express Route.
Okay, good. Anything to add, Stephen, before we move on to the next question?
No, that covers it pretty well, actually.
Okay, I think we have two questions here. I kind of want to combine one which we did address later on in the presentation, Chris. And can Cato be rolled out in segments instead of replacing the entire network and security all at one time? And then there was another one which I think is related. What's the migration path for customers who currently have, say, VeloCloud SD-WAN from AireSpring? So I think you both, I'll have Chris go first to once again talk about how you can bring Cato into your organization, and Steve, we can talk about migration path.
Excellent. Yeah. So we often refer to internally as Cato being a choose your own adventure. You can pick what you want to start with. There is a base package that is involved, which is, you can, that we have to work with. But from there, you can kind of do anything. You can do the remote access first. You can do the SD-WAN first. You can do just the firewalls as service through our SSE capabilities. It's really meant to fit however you want to work with your customers. If their customer says, we've got to do this first because that's what's, it's expiring the soonest, okay, no problem. And then we can roll out from there. And then as it stands for the migration process, frequently what we'll do is we will actually stand up alongside the other solution, and we'll migrate traffic. And it's because we're actually connecting, instead of going to a hub spoke architecture similar to like VeloCloud, we go to our mesh solution where it connects to a point of presence. It's just a matter of then routing traffic. It doesn't take very much, and we actually coach the customer on how to do this a couple of times with a couple of sites, and then from there we just we'll work with partners to show how to migrate that traffic.
So if people have recently purchased another one, a next gen firewall from Fortinet or perhaps another competitor, you can still add on and play nicely within that topology. And
Absolutely.
okay, if down the road they choose to bring in the encompass or embrace the entire Cato platform, then they can. But they don't have to throw away anything today in order to get Cato into their
Correct.
network, right? Okay, that's good. So, Stephen, do you want to talk about a migration plan? If again, I don't think you have to migrate if you don't want to, but um, we are still selling multiple solutions, folks. We want to provide and Stephen can address this better than I can as a solutions engineer, the right solution for that organization. And so you don't have to worry about we're not discontinuing our other products that we currently sell and support. Stephen, what else do you think we should tell our partners today?
I mean, that's exactly right. So with Cato, it's all they care about is getting to their cloud, right? So if you have uh, whatever connectivity you have, if you have existing SD-WAN or whatever, they can take that network traffic in almost any form, right? IPsec tunnels, they can do it with the SDP client on the endpoints. You can have site-based IPsec tunnels. Any of that, they can start processing the network traffic. What that does is gives us immense flexibility on how to get customers into their network, right? And processing that security. So that's one of the superpowers of AireSpring, right? Is we have a very robust project management team and that can help you navigate that. Say you have a customer that has an existing SD-WAN environment. We can help you route traffic into the Cato processing engine, and then turn on those security services that you are interested in. As Chris was saying, there's a base package, and then you can start adding on as you need that functionality. So project management is a big piece of it, right? And it's never as clean as what you would want it to be in the real world, right? You would want it just to be load one customer into Cato and be done. But the real world works differently than that. They have existing networks, they have existing routing. So it becomes very important that we think through that process and work with our engineering teams to design the right solution and work with our project management team to roll it out in a proper way. If you don't do that with a trusted partner like AireSpring, it can get messy, as you know.
Very good. Okay. Anything to add, Chris, before we move on to the next question?
Nope. Well answered. That was perfect. Thank you.
Okay, good. This one I think I can answer. Who do I talk to if I have a customer that I think would be interested in Cato? The answer to that question is your first step would be to reach out to your AireSpring channel manager. If you don't have a channel manager currently, let us know and we will introduce you to the channel manager in your area. We'll also have the map, which Stephen showed earlier. That's available on our website. Go to airspring.com and go to the partners page. That map is available for download. You can go by the state where you are, or you can simply send an email to sales@airspring.com, and a channel team member will get back to you. Okay, the next question is pricing. How is pricing determined for a customer? Stephen, I don't know how to specifically answer that. Do you want to take that question?
So it's an interesting model. It's based on services subscribed to and bandwidth consumed. Chris, you might be able to fill us in a little bit better than that, but what it does is it allows for different size customers to be custom priced. So we can't really point you to a SKU list and say, it's going to be this much for this many users. It's priced based on consumption. How much processing is that particular customer going to need? And so based on that model, it's imperative that we have those conversations with the sales engineer, solutions engineer from AireSpring, and the sales engineering team from Cato, so that we can determine that pricing model. Chris, you might have a little bit better insight than I did just then. That's about the best I can do.
It's pretty close. I mean, and you kind of hit it right there. Is that it's based off of three? It's based off of three factors: number of sites, bandwidth consumption, and then number of remote users if you're going down that road. With Cato, there is only one thing that we charge capital expenditure for, and that is for the rack mounts for our sockets, and those are very low cost. Everything else is an OpEx. So and everything is sold through partners. So it's the mixture of those three things. Like I said, number of sites, bandwidth consumption, and then the user count. And then if you have sockets and things like that, All of that's just part of the subscription. But those are the main factors.
Okay. Chris, can you briefly go over what the sockets are again? Some people are asking
Certainly.
if it's the same as the SD-WAN appliance that some other vendors provide. Can you just
It is
briefly
similar.
explain them?
Sure, it is a so the socket itself it is basically an edge on it's an edge SD-WAN on ramp, and they vary in size. We have a X16, the X1500, which is basically meant for small branches. It handles up to half a gig of traffic. We have the X1600, which is for medium offices. It also has the capability for LTE, and that one handles up to a gig of traffic. And then we have our X1700, which is our data center box. That handles currently up to 5 gigs of traffic, although we are upgrading it later this year to 10 gigs of traffic. Um, all of these things, those three different models, again, they are all sold as OpEx. They're subscriptions. Those are basically the Edge SD-WAN on ramps to the Cato POP network that then rides our backbone. It also does do the traffic shaping. It does we are working on getting it to do some local firewalling and stuff like that. So it's the functionality with it is growing, but that's how it is today.
Okay, great. Thank you. Um, we have a question about sales certification to agents. It's similar to what we've been doing with our boot camps, I imagine. Rob, we will be doing something. I don't know what we will roll that out exactly, but we will provide boot camps as we have been doing with Mike Chase, our Senior VP of Solutions Engineering. As far as in Agent Store, yes, this will be an Agent Store. I don't have data on exactly how that will work. If there's anybody on the channel team that wants to chime in, I can unmute you. Charlie, I see you're on. If you want to, um, I can unmute you if you'd like to answer that question. If you know when its availability in Agent Store is.
With Cato?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you.
Yeah, no, was the question is when will availability of Cato be on Agent Star?
Yes.
Well, it's not really going to be an Agent Star yet because, again, this is a consultative sale. So reach out to your channel manager, start the conversation. We get Cato involved. They register the opportunity, and then from there we can put it together. But it's not really but as we discussed, right? It's an ICB. Every quote is pretty much ICB. So it's very much a consultative process, which is good for everybody, really, especially the agent. So just reach out to your channel manager, and we'll put it together.
Yeah. So this will not be a QuoteSpring item, partners. So that's per Charlie. This is handled differently. And best thing to do is to start the process. Speak to your channel manager, and set up the meetings with your customer through the channel manager. Thank you, Charlie. Okay, let's see if we have any other questions. I think that does it for us.